I do it because I want to do it, not because I have to do it. Whereas Pacquiao, at his age, which is sad that he has to fight.
Manny Pacquiao is really considering of coming back to professional boxing. I think that would be a good measurement and sign and a marketing for him when he returned to boxing.
Debate of who is the greatest boxer of all time.
And that would be you?
I don't know. That's why I'm still keep fighting.
Floyd Mayweather has finally broken his silence regarding the much-discussed return of his longtime rival, Manny Pacquiao, who is stepping back into the ring at 46 years old. Known for their iconic 2015 bout that captured global attention, the rivalry between Mayweather and Pacquiao remains one of boxing's most legendary narratives. In his first public response to Pacquiao's comeback, Mayweather delivered a statement filled with a mix of respect, caution, and a hint of challenge. Fans and analysts are now speculating whether this could reignite one of boxing's most iconic feuds, or perhaps set the stage for an even bigger event.
Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios is a done deal. Fight will either happen July 19th or July 26th in Las Vegas or San Antonio. And it's not going to be a pay-per-view. It's going to be free on Amazon Prime. Whew. We blast Jake Paul for these types of fights. And yet a current world champion and Mario Barrios is going to go after Manny Pacquiao. Listen, I get it. You get to share the ring with the legend of Manny Pacquiao, one of the greatest to all ever do it. But he's been retired now. He's already in the Hall of Fame. Manny Pacquiao did not look good in his previous exhibition he did last year either. Mario Barrios should easily run laps around Manny Pacquiao, destroy him. Why are we wasting time with this type of fight?
Manny Pacquiao, the legendary Filipino fighter and the only 8-division world champion in boxing history, is making a stunning return to the ring at the age of 46. After retiring in 2021 following a unanimous decision loss to Yordenis Ugas, Pacquiao has now announced plans to challenge Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title in July 2025. This fight holds special significance as the WBC welterweight belt represents the first world title Pacquiao ever won during his illustrious career, dating back to when he captured the WBC flyweight title in 1998.
What's the next fight you're working?
We're working now.
Where? Oh, you're going to New York?
No.
I'm saying. You know, I told someone that he's one of the main coaches here, and they said, why is Roberts Gardner a coach? They thought he was the guy. No, I'm serious. Someone thought that you were the Gardner guy.
Blas?
Yeah, no, someone seriously, one of the boxing reporters. No, Blas. I said, no, he's not. Yeah, of course, he's a legend. Where is he? The firefighter. Because they saw the videos and they got confused. Oh, Mikey's here. Who's the guy with Mikey? Who's the guy with Mikey? Okay, really quick. Manny Pacquiao. It looks like you fight Barrios July 19th. Who wins?
Mario Barrios, a 29-year-old American boxer from San Antonio, Texas, currently holds the WBC welterweight title. He earned the championship after a dominant victory over Yordenis Ugas in September 2023, where he knocked Ugas down twice and won by unanimous decision, with scores of 118-107 twice and 117-108. This triumph marked a major milestone in Barrios' career, elevating him to full champion status following Terence Crawford's move to the super welterweight division. Barrios has expressed great excitement about the possibility of facing the legendary Manny Pacquiao. He stated, "I'm very excited at the possibility of this fight being made. Manny Pacquiao is a future Hall of Famer, a legend, and someone I looked up to growing up. To share the ring with him would be an honor and a dream come true." His words reflect both admiration for Pacquiao's career and eagerness to test himself against one of the sport's all-time greats. The potential matchup between Pacquiao and Barrios has generated considerable buzz within the boxing world, drawing varied reactions from fans and experts alike. WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman has voiced strong support for the bout, praising Pacquiao's legendary status and noting the successful comebacks of other past champions. Sulaiman stated, "I do like the idea very much. I think Pacquiao can beat any fighter, or at least be competitive with any fighter, today." This endorsement highlights the WBC's openness to sanction the fight, acknowledging Pacquiao's lasting appeal and competitive drive. Pacquiao's advisor, Sean Gibbons, also supports the fight as a worthwhile opportunity. He described Barrios as an ideal opponent, calling it a 50-50 fight, but one that is very winnable for Manny. Gibbons emphasized that Barrios' style, could match up well with Pacquiao's strengths, suggesting that the fight is both evenly matched and favorable for the veteran icon.
We have Sean Gibbons here, Manny Pacquiao's right-hand man, advisor, head of MP Promotions. Sean, I know you spent a lot of time with Manny Pacquiao over recent weeks and months. There's a lot of conversations about Manny's comeback. What is the latest that you could offer and the update around the potential matchup with Mario Barrios?
Well, the latest is Manny's fighting an exhibition on 28th in Japan. So, you don't want to really look past that. But if he's successful there, Mario Barrios, we've talked about Conor Benn, which I believe was a great fight. That would have been a tremendous fight. We could have done it in England. We could have done it in the U.S. We could have done it in Riyadh season. But the fact that he wasn't able to come off the suspension, that put the brakes on that. So that brought us to Mario Barrios. He's the WBC world champion. Manny's first belt ever, many years ago, was a WBC belt. So
Floyd Mayweather believes that Manny Pacquiao's return to the boxing ring is most likely motivated by financial reasons, a common factor behind many retired fighters staging comebacks. In professional boxing, it's not unusual for aging legends to return for one final lucrative payday, especially if they haven't fully transitioned into a stable life after boxing. Despite this implication, Mayweather acknowledges Pacquiao's enduring skill, noting that even his C game surpasses the best efforts of many active fighters today. This highlights Pacquiao's exceptional talent and high ring IQ, qualities that have not completely faded with age. His speed, experience, and unconventional fighting style still give him a real chance in the ring, even if he is past his physical prime. However, concerns remain over the physical risks involved, especially when facing much younger opponents. Ultimately, Mayweather's remarks reflect a mix of deep respect for Pacquiao's legendary legacy and concern over the dangers of returning to elite-level competition after retirement. The rivalry between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao remains one of the most significant and financially successful in boxing history, stretching over more than a decade. Their eventual clash in 2015 was the result of years of anticipation, stalled negotiations, and overwhelming public demand. Initial talks for the fight began around 2009 when both fighters were at the peak of their careers. However, disagreements over drug testing procedures and promotional conflicts delayed the matchup for several years. Mayweather's insistence on Olympic-style drug testing was met with initial resistance from Pacquiao, which caused a breakdown in discussions. Additional hurdles involving broadcasting networks and purse splits kept the fight on hold, despite intense fan interest. Eventually, on May 2, 2015, the long-awaited bout took place at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, promoted as the Fight of the Century. Mayweather entered with an undefeated record of 47-0, while Pacquiao stood at 57-5-2. The event shattered revenue records, drawing over 4.66 million pay-per-view buys and generating more than $600 million in total, making it the highest-grossing boxing match at that time. Inside the ring, Mayweather relied on his trademark defensive strategy, utilizing sharp counterpunching and superior footwork to neutralize Pacquiao's aggressive offense. Pacquiao struggled to land meaningful shots and later revealed he had been dealing with a shoulder injury leading up to the fight. After 12 rounds, Mayweather was awarded a unanimous decision victory, with judges scoring the bout 118-110, 116-112, and 116-112. While the fight lived up to its financial expectations, many fans and critics voiced disappointment over the lack of sustained action and excitement. Nevertheless, the bout reinforced Mayweather's legacy as one of boxing's greatest defensive masters and added yet another compelling chapter to Pacquiao's storied career. In the years that followed, both fighters continued their careers, Mayweather retiring with an unblemished 50-0 record, while Pacquiao claimed additional titles before retiring in 2021. The Mayweather-Pacquiao rivalry remains a defining era in boxing history, showcasing the sport's unique blend of physical excellence and strategic brilliance.
Any version of Mayweather would have always beaten Pacquiao, in my opinion. I think Mayweather would have always done what's necessary for Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao had a greater career, but I think Mayweather's a better fighter. And I think Mayweather had the right things for somebody like Pacquiao. I mean, he had the right one-punch speed. He had the right IQ. He was bigger than Manny with longer arms. He had great feet. It's just a kryptonite for Manny Pacquiao. I personally thought so.
Manny Pacquiao spoke about that he shouldn't have.
Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather, yeah.
Because it's a time and a place for everything. I'm not going to say he's right and I'm not going to say he's wrong. You know, but it's so crazy. When he spoke about it, I could have easily came out and said, yeah, you spoke about it. I ain't have to say nothing. Just by you saying my name, they gave me a check for $4 million. He said my name when he didn't supposed to. Remember I said it's a time and a place for any and everything.
Mastery and global appeal aside, I've always believed that any version of Floyd Mayweather would have beaten Manny Pacquiao. In my opinion, Mayweather simply had the tools needed to handle someone like Pacquiao. While Pacquiao may have had the greater overall career, I believe Mayweather was the better fighter. He possessed the perfect combination of attributes: explosive one-punch speed, high fight IQ, longer reach, and superior footwork. Physically, he was bigger, and stylistically, he was Pacquiao's kryptonite. That's just how I personally saw it. When Pacquiao spoke publicly about certain things, I felt he shouldn't have. There's a time and place for everything. I'm not going to say he was right or wrong, but it was surprising. When he mentioned my name, I could have easily responded, but I didn't need to. Just him saying my name got me a check for $4 million. He brought me up when he wasn't supposed to, and I remembered what I always say. There's a time and place for everything. Pacquiao's decision to return to professional boxing comes after his involvement in politics, including a campaign for the Philippine Senate. According to his advisor, Sean Gibbons, Pacquiao is motivated to end his legendary career by reclaiming the WBC title, a belt that holds sentimental value as it was his first world title. The fight is expected to take place in Las Vegas, with venues like the T-Mobile Arena and the MGM Grand under consideration. Although the exact date and venue are yet to be confirmed, the bout is projected for late July 2025, following the conclusion of Pacquiao's political obligations. This comeback has stirred significant conversation in the boxing community, with fans and analysts debating the implications of a 46-year-old legend returning to face a younger, active champion. Pacquiao, however, remains confident. He cites his vast experience and the relatively minimal damage he has sustained in recent years as factors in his favor. In July 2024, Pacquiao faced Japanese kickboxer Rukia Anpo in a 3-round exhibition bout at Japan's Saitama Super Arena. Originally set to fight Chihiro Suzuki, Pacquiao faced a new challenge when the taller Anpo stepped in as a replacement. Anpo used his height and reach effectively, landing sharp jabs and combinations that kept Pacquiao on the outside. Pacquiao struggled to close the distance and couldn't execute his usual footwork effectively, partly due to the thick matting in the ring. Despite a strong push in the final round, the fight ended in a draw with no knockdowns. Pacquiao later admitted he was only at 60% of his usual condition and had not trained properly. His advisor, Sean Gibbons, echoed this, saying Pacquiao entered the match underprepared and lacked intensity. Boxing experts have expressed mixed views on Pacquiao's planned return. Promoter Ben Shalom acknowledged the temptation for fighters to return but cautioned against it, pointing to the serious health risks and historical examples of late career fights going poorly. Shalom said, "It is very hard as a promoter to say it, but equally, if you have enough money in the bank, you have to protect your health." He emphasized that fighters often struggle with the loss of the adrenaline rush, saying, "Fighters are addicted to that buzz, and it is very hard to replace it in those final years." Legendary promoter Bob Arum also voiced concern, urging Pacquiao to consider retirement for the sake of his long-term health. Arum specifically referenced the neurological damage Muhammad Ali suffered from fighting too long. "He's over 40. He's got to watch out," Arum warned. I'm worried."
Yeah, it's lazy, right? Just kind of...
When you do the shadow boxing like that, what is that for? Because you can apply that in a habit. You become a habit. When you shadow boxing like...
Woo! Woo!
Like that.
The speed is still there. Woo!
Max Kellerman presents a compelling argument for recognizing Manny Pacquiao as the greatest pound-for-pound boxer in history, even while acknowledging that Sugar Ray Robinson is often regarded as the top pick. Kellerman's reasoning is built on 2 major points: the breadth of Pacquiao's accomplishments across numerous weight classes and the high caliber of opponents he faced during his prime. Pacquiao's career stands alone in its scope. He is the only boxer to have won world titles in 8 different weight divisions, spanning from flyweight to light middleweight, a remarkable 39-pound range. This achievement highlights his incredible adaptability and skill, consistently overcoming the physical disadvantages of fighting naturally larger opponents. In contrast, Sugar Ray Robinson's dominance was primarily confined to 2 weight classes, welterweight and middleweight. While Robinson's record is undeniably impressive, with 174 victories and 109 knockouts, his success came within a relatively narrow weight range compared to Pacquiao's extraordinary journey through multiple divisions.
As a case for greatest fighter, pound for pound, who ever lived. Think about, by the way, I don't think he wins that argument. Sugar Ray Robinson is safely ensconced in that position. But Henry Armstrong, Muhammad Ali, Harry Greb, Sam Langford, Floyd Mayweather, Pernell Whitaker, whoever else you want to mention, put Pacquiao's resume up to those guys. Bill James, the great baseball sabermetrician, had a way of ranking baseball players that I came across as a kid and thought, that's really smart. You have to rank them at their best and then also over the course of their careers. Because when you have that argument, are you talking about who accomplished the most or what heights did they reach? What peak did they reach? Take either for Pacquiao. Take his peak. Was it at 140 pounds when he obliterated Ricky Hatton, Miguel Cotto, and then Oscar De La Hoya, though that was at 147? Was that Pacquiao's peak? Because remember, that's when the Mayweather-Pacquiao hype actually reached fever pitch. Oh my God, these are two of the best fighters we've ever seen. And they're both in their primes, in the same weight class at the same time.
Pacquiao's prime likely occurred between 140 and 147 pounds, during which he reigned supreme over many elite fighters. This period also coincided with the peak public anticipation for a showdown with Floyd Mayweather, as both fighters were in their primes and shared the same weight division. Kellerman recalls that although he personally favored Mayweather at the time, largely because of his natural size advantage, Pacquiao's ability to climb through weight classes and remain competitive with top-tier opposition only strengthened his pound-for-pound legacy. This adaptability and success against the odds contribute significantly to Pacquiao's case as one of the greatest fighters in boxing history.
Pacquiao, it's weird. Danny felt like a big brick. Pacquiao felt like a little brick. Okay? Now, the weird part is Pacquiao's hands just felt heavy. After the fight, I constantly was thinking, why did his fist feel like a rock? You know? It was like awkward, right? I was like, why did his fist feel so hard in the fight? You know? I was like, it's a little awkward. You know, I don't really care about that stuff that much. I mean, I could handle it. It wasn't devastating. Didn't really feel like plaster, but it felt like something. It felt like a rock. So I thought, like, does he do certain training? Does he do certain, you know, does he build up calluses? Does he have more dense bone density in his hands? Did they do some Asian stuff? What did they do? Who knows, right? And then looking at the picture, I was like, damn, you know what? Pacquiao wore them old school Mexican Reyes.